Oak Brook and Orland Park. That's 708-315-6800 for the Joint Relief Institute. Medicare and most private insurance plans accepted.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
This hour of the Shaun Thompson Show is sponsored exclusively by DonleyAuctions.com. Estate jewelry, vintage watches, sell worldwide for true auction value. DonleyAuctions.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Later today, Senator Murray will come to the floor and offer legislation to fund everything at DHS except for ICE and Border Patrol. We can take care of TSA. We can take care of the Coast Guard, CISA, and FEMA.
Nobody said anything about Pete Buttigieg. You mean Border Patrol and ICE? See, and this is the obstruction you have to understand. It's not just they are bending knee to their paymasters, the cartels. How do you think the dope flows in this country and where it thrives? New York, New Jersey, California, Chicago. Pick a Democrat enclave. Every sexually frustrated housewife from the suburbs knows exactly where to go. Perform her services, get the dope, and go back home, and they have for 30 years. How do you think it happens? Because the money trickles up in corruption. They're bribed. So Schmuck Schumer wants to bend knee to his cartel paymasters. He wants to create the destabilization that all communism and Marxism and scum rely on, because they protect the predators each and every time. And that's why Schmuck Schumer isn't really talking about so much that's going on in New York City, like the New York City illegal scumbag filthy pig who shoved 2 New Yorkers on the railroad tracks, but the 83-year-old was sticking up for the first one. The 83-year-old Vietnam veteran was sticking up. And why isn't the schmuck pig Schumer or any other Democrat demanding all illegal scumbag thieves and rats and pigs be arrested immediately?
Accused subway shover Byron Hernandez taken into custody by the NYPD Tuesday. The homeless man from Honduras denying he pushed 2 people onto the subway tracks.
Doesn't matter what he denies. He's on video, this stupid son of a bitch. He's on video! Frickin' scumbag! And the reason they don't take advantage of the 8 pathways to come here legally, the reason they don't disclose who they are is because they were scum back home. They need that anonymity. That's how this wretched pig has survived. And the Democrat in New York has been paying him exorbitant amounts of money, just like in Chirac.
At the 63rd Street and Lexington Avenue station Sunday. Okay. That's the first victim, John Rodriguez, on the tracks. His video allegedly showing the 34...
John Rodriguez may have a name that comes from Central and South America, but John Rodriguez, he's here legally. He was on his way to work. He's Hispanic, too, and he'll get no attention.
4-year-old suspect in the red hood pacing on the platform. Minutes later, 83-year-old Richard Williams appears. He, too, was then pushed.
He wasn't in his right mind to do what he did, and I think...
I don't give a rip what mind he is. Let's beat him to death with ball-peen hammers! I'll go first! Scum of the earth. George in Naperville.
Yes, Shaun, if they refuse to turn over the voter rolls, will we at least still get the sticker that says I voted today?
Absolutely. They can crank that out. You could go. You don't even have to go to the polling place. Go to CVS in any Democrat area. They'll give you one. Dan, Salem, Wisconsin.
Shaun, thank you for bringing up that story about that last one you just said. But anyway, we are winning. Trump is playing mega chess on these Democrats. And that Chuck Schumer, he is the biggest shyster and crook you ever like.
Dan, here's the problem. All they got to do is what they did the first time. You just got to wait, right? You sit in your ghetto, sit in your enclave, and you just wait. Because Trump's one guy, he's got a couple of good guys. He's also got a couple of scallywags hanging around him, right?
Oh, he's got them in such disarray, Shaun.
Yeah,
he's got this, man. Trump is outbeating these people.
Yes, in good areas. But there are 29 strongholds that refuse to turn over the information because they're stealing our money. And they know once he's gone, the theft will continue. You're used to it now. After all, you're used to it now. Here's a funny little story of when you first got used to it. 2009, Barack, the bust out, who had to to cozy up to Rod Blagojevich's wife as the real estate broker when they cooked up that shenanigans to buy that, I guess it's a mansion. I don't know what you'd call it. Maybe a gem in Gaga in Hyde Park when they had the title company to merge the lots, the kind of stuff that is completely illegitimate and illegal. But that's all right. You're in Chicago. You do anything, especially if you got a greasy, slimy Resco and a real up-and-comer like Barack Obama. So he gets in, and then all the money flows. You notice how it was simultaneous, the bailouts and the money. And where'd the money go in 2009? Ben Bernanke, I believe he's a Bush guy, right?
Who got the money?
To financial institutions in Europe and other countries.
Which ones?
I don't know.
$500 billion, and you don't know who got the money?
The loans go to the central banks, and they then put them out to their institutions to try to bring down short-term interest rates in dollar markets around the world.
Well, let's start with which central banks got the money.
There's 14 of them, which are listed I'm sure they're listed in here somewhere.
That's the stupid son of a dog that cut the checks. 17 years, $30 trillion in debt. And you're just used to it now. Bernanke was a guy he studied, right? He studied the Depression. He was a financial wizard. Really? You sound like a stupid, corrupt whore to me.
All right. So who actually made that decision to hand out $1 trillion that way? $500 billion. Who made that decision?
The Federal Open Market Committee.
Okay. And was it done at one time or in a series of meetings?
A series of meetings.
And under what legal authority?
We have a long-standing legal authority to do swaps with other central banks. It's not an emergency authority of any kind.
Anything?
You know who you're talking to? You're talking to the New World Order, baby. You're talking to the financiers that have sent out American taxpayer money to all these third world savages, be they dressed in costumes from the year 622, or they're part of the cartel in Central and South America.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
Read my lips.
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
There's a need for a new world order, but it has different characteristics in different parts of the world.
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order.
So when you hear all of this stuff on The View and all the Democrats who talk about, boy, when Trump sent that Tomahawk, it may have hit a girls' school. It may have hit a girls' school. Well, that used to be a military base. And maybe they moved the girls in there, whatever the case is. Remember what happened after the New World Order and George Bush. All the kids that were killed from Serbia, Middle East, and all the policies that followed as his stepson, Bill Clinton, took over. And all the Democrats that could give a rip about all the kids they killed.
We have heard that 500,000 children have died. I mean, that's more children than died in Hiroshima. And you know, is the price worth it?
I think this is a very hard choice, but we think the price is worth it.
There you go. So when asked about the kids in Iran, Madeline Albright says it's worth it. 312-642-5600.
What if everything you've been told about government, health care, poverty, energy, and even science is a carefully constructed lie? In Shaun Thompson's new book, What If It's All a Lie? Shaun Thompson dismantles the myths at the core of modern America. This is the book the ruling class doesn't want you to read. And once you do, you won't see the world the same way again. Order your copy today at ShaunThompsonShow.com/book.
This is Carol Platt-Lebo for Townhall.com. As the world marked International Women's Day, an international incident reminded us what real repression looks like and how silent many so-called feminists have become. As their bus left Australia for a flight back to Iran, members of Iran's women's soccer team flashed SOS hand signals pleading for help. Iranian state media had branded them traitors for refusing to sing the regime's national anthem before a match. It's easy to see why they were afraid to go home. Under Iran's Islamist theocracy, women possess few rights and defiance carries brutal consequences. As the Australian government dithered, President Trump urged officials to act and offered asylum in America. For years, American feminist groups have called the president sexist. Yet when real women risked everything for freedom, he moved quickly to protect them, while the so-called feminists did nothing.
Well, the experts did their best with this season's flu vaccine, but the virus mutated and the vaccine could not keep up. But here is the truth. The most powerful defense against viruses isn't something man-made. It is the God-given immune system that you were born with, and the best immune system